I came not to call the righteous, but the sinners to repentance. Verse 18. And the disciples of John and the Pharisees used to fast. And they came and said unto him, Why do the disciples of John and of the Pharisees fast, but thy disciples fast not? And Jesus said unto them, Can the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? And as long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. No man also seweth in piece of a new cloth on an old garment, else the new piece that filled it up taken away from the old, and the rent is made worse. And no man putteth new wine in old bottles, else the new wine doth burst the bottles, and the wine is spilled, and the bottles will be marred. But new wine must be put in new bottles. Verse 23. And it came to pass that as he went through the cornfield on the Sabbath day, and the disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of corn. And the Pharisees said unto them, Behold, they do on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful. Verse 25. And he said unto them, Have ye never read what David did when he had need and was an hungered, he and they that were with him? This is the word of the Lord. Amen. Verse 26. How he went into the house of God.
And 28, please.
Okay. And how he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar the high priest, and did eat the shewbread, which is not lawful to eat, but for the priests, and gave also to them which were with him. And he said unto them, The Sabbath days were made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. This is the word of the Lord. Amen. Praise the Lord.
All right. We are not having church as usual today. Washington, you're going to come back later. I think I'm fine. And we're going to have a little discussion as we plan to enter 2020. Next year going to be a special year in the South Bronx here. You all going to be recruited as laborers. Is that okay?
Amen.
We're looking for laborers. It's a young work, and I need to bring this back to, what did you gather from Mark 2? It's an open discussion when I'm not preaching. What did you gather from Mark 2? What jumped on your head to begin our discussion? I need the young people in particular to measure your team. I need you people to tell us what people are seeing there, because we want to shift the direction of ministry. Glad to see Etta. I haven't seen you for 2 weeks now, or so a month, I don't know, but it's glad to see you. I mean, somebody was looking forward to meet with me and you, but I think we will still talk after church. And I had to have my students here today. I didn't believe they would show up. Come on, stand up here and greet the church. I didn't believe they would show up. After lectures last week, these two young ladies, come up here. I'm so proud of you to show up today. I hope the pre-campus class is not keeping you up all night, doing your homework. I didn't know you were going to show up today. Come on, tell the church your name.
I'm Sarah Hunter. I'm Margaret Philosophy.
How good a person am I? Am I a bad one?
No.
All right, I'm so glad to have you come. My wife is here, and that's the person you're going to meet with after church. I didn't have to talk to you all after church. I'm so glad to have you. And Sarah, we're going to talk some more. I'm going to bring you up some more. We're going to just share ideas, what to think. We're going to be. I want to see you do something for God in this community.
Amen.
I thought they were joking last week. They told me they all see me every time. Say, you talk like a pastor, you behave like one. I say, yes, I am. And they want to check me out for real, and they are here. I'm so glad that you came, okay? And I met you on the food pantry line, yesterday, and you told me you're going to show up today. And I talked with you a little while. And I told you to come and see me here today and worship with us. And you're here. I'm so glad to have you. And you're going to keep coming. Because I want to be a pastor, right? Good. So this is our first fruit from the food pantry as it were now. So we're going to have more coming in over time. We're going to be working on the food line and after school program, other things we're going to be doing going forward and trying to create new things here. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
2020, I see a change coming through this ministry to the community.
Amen.
I don't know about you. Yeah, I'm going to begin small, and then we grow it. It's a new direction we're looking for. So, but my point in bringing you to Mark chapter 2 is to see that Christ came to stop church and begin relationship. What did I just say now? Did I say something? Yes. What did I say? He came to stop church and begin what? If you miss it, you miss everything else. He's not calling us to a church. He's calling us to himself, to relationship. And that's, to me, that's key. So if you want to know who I am, that's all I want to be. I want to relate to you. All I'm looking for is relationship. I'm not ready for church anymore. I've been doing it all my whole life. I'm getting tired of church. So forgive me if I offend your religion or your theology. What I mean is that there's a place for a gathering called ecclesia, or they call that once, or the church, which is what it means in Greek. The word is they call that once. Am I right? Yep. We're the call that once. It doesn't mean a task meeting or a cultural group. We're called out to be different, called out to him, to be used by him to reach the world, to evangelize. You could be a fisherman, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be an engineer, you could be like me, a teacher, you could be anything. The Lord want to use you to do a great work. And some are going to do it full time, don't misunderstand me. But practically, we're all ministers wherever we find ourselves. We're meant to make a difference in people's life. We are called to make a difference in people's lives. So we began to read from verse what? 14? Did you see it? But I want to point to you what he told them in verse 14. What word struck in verse 14? As he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus. Is that in your Bible? Yes. And he sitting at, Ijama, please, can you get my students' Bible? Let them be along with me. Show them where Matthew is. And if you have cell phone, you can also turn it on. These days, I don't know what we're going to do with the Bible because everyone have a cell phone now. Sitting on the custom seat, and he said to them, he said to him, what? Pay attention. There are Bibles under the chairs there where Chinas is staying. Plenty Bibles on the floor. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's not be distracted now. Let's go on. They got it? As he passed by, he saw Levi. Read along with me, everybody. Want to go? As he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the receipt of silk custom. Said unto him, what? And that's the first thing we see. That's why I told you he came for relationship. He met him on the street. Said, follow me, and he did. It came to pass, said I'd meet in this house. The church folks showed up. He came to his house. Many publicans. Who are the publicans? But he says publicans are sinners. Look at it now. What's the difference between publicans and sinners? But the word is publican. It is a tax collectors. Is that what you think? Publicans?
And they were corrupt in that day because they accused people and take what some people believe. They were very corrupt in that day.
So say better, those who commit sin in public. Publicans. So now that's why we have Republicans. We came now to rebuild what they have destroyed. So that's why we Republicans come to now clean the public with law and order. Because these publicans are lawless. and they do their own things in the public. So they're called public sinners. They're what they call a civil servant. They be on the road collecting money from people. Like you saw if you've been to Nigeria, the army and people every 2 blocks, they are demanding money. If you don't, in fact, they kill people for not giving them $1 or something like that. Shoot them, or in their cars. So they commit their own sin. How? Publicly. That's publican for you. They pretend that they're doing government work or godly things, but they do it very flagrantly in public. They don't hide to do evil because they have the power behind them, or the authority, or the gun behind them. They will shoot anybody. So Anne is looking at me like I'm talking about Republican. So Republicans came to change you guys and put you online to do their own thing in a way. But my point is this, that these people are also very judgmental. Very, very judgmental. But then they have a bigger people who judge them too, more harshly, called the Pharisees. That's why verse 16 is very important. And the church showed up. When the scribes and the Pharisees, is that your Bible? Showed up. What did they say? I saw him eat with the publicans and the sinners. They got angry. How is it that you're eating with people who are sinners? But that's who we are going to reach. That's who Christ was eating with. I don't care whether they have HIV. I had somebody come to our church couple of years ago. Been with us for a while. The first time he came, he told me I had an HIV. I know as a pastor, I wouldn't disclose to anybody. Because if I say it, my African brother would just jump through the window and leave the church. So we kept it quiet till tomorrow. He was here with us for a while till he moved. We have to protect him, guide him. But all I told him, please make sure you protect also the church, quietly, privately. But how to accommodate due to HIV? He lives in the neighborhood here. He lets come forth. Somebody else came forth one day running in from the neighborhood. The police were pursuing him. He ran to my office here. Said, the police are after me. If they get me, they're going to hurt me. I said, okay, stay here. It's a sanctuary. Because I rated the ministry as a sanctuary house. So anybody can come and take shelter. It can't be arrested. It can't be deported. It can't be anything. Once you come through our door. So stay here. So I had to talk with him at length. I get them the whole story. I'm not going to go into all that whole story. So I say, sit down here. Let me go to the second precinct. Meet the precinct commander. Talk with him. Know how to hand you over to them. Which I did. That's what we're called to do. So I went down to the precinct. The officers, I said, no, I want to see the commander. I want to sit down with him. So where I sent Professor Joe Mokwe, and I told him I'm at CUNY at graduate school, and this center, that, and that. So, okay, fine. They took me up to the commander, and I sat down with him. I told him all the things, but I told him, I'll hand him over to you on one condition. Not going to hurt him. And so far, so we made an agreement. He said, okay, suppose you bring him down yourself. We're not going to show up on the door. Can you bring him? I said, I will bring him myself. So that's where God is calling us into this community. To begin to do such works like that. And many are going to come in. Like that, my daughter at the back there. That is up there. They're going to come sometimes. Not the unusual person. We're going to just get them, so forth. But I'm thinking more what we can do. So I'm going to say a few things and I'm going to leave the floor open for you. We're going to leave you in the next hour, please. We're going to keep it short. Number one, we want to create a fellowship ministry. We want to reshape this ministry to become what? A friendship ministry. Did you hear what I just said? We want to reshape this whole of us here, all of us here today. I want us to come into an agreement that we're going to become a friendship ministry. So in other words, we will have friendship membership. What does that mean? We're going to change ourselves. We're going to change the ministry. We're going to change our work in the community. We're going to change a lot of things. The word is the 3 F words. Friendship, membership. And I said this, I don't want to bore you with Bible. You all know it already. That since Christ accepted us unconditionally, that's the A, ABC. The A is acceptance. Friendship cannot exist where there's no acceptance of the other person. Right or wrong? So you're going to write down these things. Know it. If you need a copy, Lima, I'm going to give you a copy of what I'm saying now. Because the projection failed this morning. It's not working. Both the camera and the projection. I don't know what happened to the computer. But I am on, but projection is not working. Okay, fine. So the first thing is the unconditional acceptance by Christ. Acceptance to Christ, by Christ rather, was what? Unconditionally. Is that right? Anybody arguing with me on that? Say, come on to me the way you are. So that means that you and I can accept one another. How? I need comments. I need comments.
A point of reference, where they live and eat and breathe. Because Christ came for all of us, and he gave us instruction to judge not. And if we abide in his word abide in us, we can move forward in him
That's a
without
B.
trembling.
That's okay.
Good pastor.
Go ahead.
Basically, that's it. For with loving kindness have I drawn thee. Not judgment, not worldly ideology, tough love. It's tough already. That's why he gave us an easier path.
All right. Life is tough already. So, Margaret there says, please help me, somebody. We're here. We are not looking back anymore where we failed. What is wrong? Why the church is not growing? Why we're not growing individually? Why the community is the way? I don't want us to be judgmental about our past. Let's go of the past and let's look forward to the future. We're trying to create now a fellowship that is what? Friendly. Go ahead, Ethel. What you are hearing in your spirit? I said we have to accept one another unconditionally. That's what I'm struggling to get the meaning. Because if you got to work with people's children, every time I come through the door, you have to accept them how? They're going to be handicapped. They may come from home where the parents are using drugs. They may not have taken bath since yesterday. They have not had breakfast or lunch. We're not going to judge them. Their skin color, whether they're Hispanic or black or Africans or Mexicans or white or green, doesn't make a difference, Chinese. So unconditional means unconditional. So we try to reshape our modus operandi, how we're going to operate. And whether there are no Africans, no black American, no white, no green, no yellow. The church should be a place. In fact, it was Martin Luther King Jr. that said it, that the most significant hour in the week is when? Sunday morning. The blacks gather alone. The whites in their own. And the Hispanics on their own. Everyone in their own African church. I said, God forbid for me to do an African church. I want to do church that anybody can come and feel at home. We're going to just go beyond the denominational boundaries. That's how we started initially, calling ourselves to do this very well. Thank you. Yes, I won't kill it again with my hand next time. Thank you very much. Don't worry, nothing scares me these days. So, okay. All right, so that's the A. Is it doable? When you say sure, what do you mean, sir?
Yeah, yes.
When you say yes, what do you mean? You don't have to stand up. You don't have to stand by the way. Just sit down where you are. Just air your views.
The goals are set in for 2020.
They're doable.
Talk about achieving a friendship church.
That's what we're trying to create. For 2020, got to be a friendship. All about this ministry should be about friendship. Does that mean I'm not going to offend you? Or say something that you wouldn't like? And or behave anyone similarly. But we're going to get to that. The B is belonging to Christ. We belong to Christ, not to anybody else. When you walk through this door, I want to make sure you understand that you belong to who? Is that okay? To assume that? That all of us here belong to who? I like that my song in Sunday school. I'm so glad I belong to Jesus. I belong to Jesus. I belong to my Lord. I'm so glad I belong to Jesus. I don't belong to no one else, but I belong to Jesus. But I want us to change that song. I am so glad I belong to Jesus. I belong to you too. I belong to Jesus. I am happy, glad I belong to Jesus. And I belong to who? Because I belong to Jesus. And you belong to Jesus. Therefore, you belong to me and I belong to you. Settle it? Any question? I become a part of you. So if anybody walks through our door and we tell them, oh, where are you located? I'm in the corner 167 Natal Avenue. They should come in here and find a church, a ministry, a fellowship where we can say that we belong to Jesus, number one, and we belong to one another. Correct me if anything is ambiguous or not clear to meaning. Yes. Well, but that's why when you walk through the door, you find our love here. The first day I saw you, I told you belong to here. And we belong to one another. So that no matter what, we belong to one another. What does that mean to somebody else? Am I speaking too much English? You guys should participate. Or is it too simple? What I'm saying? A is what? Unconditionally. We accept one another. B is what? And to one another. And finally, ABC. That's all I have for you. So anybody asks you what this church you went to today, what is all about? It's a church where people are friendly. What does that mean? We accept one another unconditionally the way you are. Whether you dress one way or another, it doesn't bother me. I'm not the Holy Spirit to change anybody the way they dress. He will do it over time. I'm going to help you too to grow in Him. Number two, that we belong to one another. Amen? And finally, I am connected. There's two different words. Belonging is not connecting. See, I'm connected to Christ, and therefore I am connected to you. And the right connection is everything. Did you agree with me? I am connected to who? And therefore, I'm connected to you because you're connected to Christ too. All of us are connected to Christ. And the right connection is everything. I am not here to use you, exploit you, abuse you, misuse you. How do you know the right connection? Well, that's salvation. But that's salvation. Our spirit bears witness with us that we are God's children. But when it comes to relationship with people, whether in marriage, in a career, in any situation you find yourself, the word, of course, I don't know why they put the witch before the wizard. Everything else, they put the man before the woman. Do you know only thing where they put one before the man? It's only when they come to witch and wizards. Do you know that it's a man and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Everything, man goes first. But when they came to the witch, they put the witch before the wizard. Always. I don't know why.
So the women were the first.
Eh.
For a long time. Before they started discovering that man started working.
Can also be a wizard then. But the point is connection. How do you know the right connection? Is devoid of witchcraft. Witchcraft doesn't mean sorcery. It doesn't mean any of those type of things. How do you define a witch? M-I-C. You have learned it from me. Good. What is M? Whenever anybody says to manipulate you, to use you, it's a witch. Even on your job. If I don't sleep with you, I'm not going to give you, promote you. I'm not going to give you this, give you that. Quid pro quo. Have you heard that word recently? That's witchcraft. Something for something. Come on. It's called Mike. Sam, give me that thing on your hand so you don't forget. No, that one on the chair. This is called a mic. We use the word mic instead of microphone. The word mic, this is how you define it. We've said it here. The right relationship is devoid of M-I-C, mic. There is no manipulation. From top to bottom. Or from bottom to top. Because sometimes somebody may know something about you. They want to use it to blackmail you. Number one is it's devoid of manipulation. And I'll give the example of manipulation. Let me use 2 minutes to do that. 2 little kids, the same mother, the same father. They belong to the same parents. The boy is younger, the girl is older. They went out one day to school. The father bought him a birthday gift of a bow and arrow. He started shooting everywhere. Then one day one evening, he made a mistake and shot his arrow, and he killed a big family chicken. In their place, chicken roam about. This big chicken, the arrow just struck the chicken. The sister was with him, saw him shoot down the chicken. And that's the mother's only good chicken. And this boy shot the chicken dead. I started crying. He said, so don't cry. I won't tell mommy. Nobody will know. But do you understand? We said we don't know who killed the chicken. They went back to the house. They didn't know the mother was watching them playing outside. I saw the whole thing, but she hid when that thing happened. They went back home in the morning. The girl woke up and said, now, dishes, you're going to do all the dishes. And my book bag, going to carry it. If you don't carry my book bag and do dishes, I will tell about the chicken. You understand? The poor guy said, yes, I will carry a bag. I'll wash the dishes. Everything the mother gave assignment, go and sweep the living room. He said, John, living room, go and sweep it. I'm sleeping. John, if you don't go now, I'll tell mommy about the chicken. Because you know you're the one who killed the chicken. The boy will go and sweep and sweep and sweep and sweep. They went to school, came back, dishes in the kitchen. John would say, John, go and do the dishes. I'm not doing any dishes. The boy will be grumpy. He said, if you don't clean the dishes, I will tell about the chicken. 3 days the boy was suffering. The girl was sleeping, relaxing. The mother was watching what was going on. The poor Johnny was struggling every day. When they go to school, he would carry his own book bag. I carry his sister's book bag, suffering rather than wait on the book bag. And she was working. That was manipulation. Till after that day, the mother said, John, come here. I saw you kill the chicken. I saw you. Why are you suffering, allowing yourself to torture you? This girl is punishing you for what you should just have come and told me, Mommy, I killed the chicken. Forgive me by accident. You should not be under this bondage. Manipulation. That's what the devil does to us with guilt. And also we do it to one another because I know something nefarious about you. So I'm going to use your failure to hold you ransom, hold you in bondage, torture you. Get what I want. Mike, manipulation will not create a good relationship. So let's fight it anywhere we see it in this ministry. Number 2 is the hide. Intimidation. Because manipulation will shift to what? Intimidation. Use power to hold somebody down. I see it even as a professor. I could use my power to mark down a student or manipulate things. I know what goes on in university, schools. Look, hear the news. and so forth and so on. But if you are a child of God, walking the way you ought to build up people, help them get along in life, give them gifts of life and favor and goodness. Whenever you manipulate people or intimidate them by any means, you are evil. You're a witch. Because both manipulation and intimidation will come to the sea. The aim is to do what? To control people. Anybody want to control the wife is a witch. Or the husband want to control the wife want to control the husband. It's a witch. I want to know how where every penny goes and where were you last time by 10 o'clock? Where were you? Come on, grow up. Nobody's your slave. Or I use another means of control is anger. Anytime you say, well, who's always angry? He's a manipulator. One of the quickest instruments of manipulation is anger or raising your voice. I was trained to do that. I don't want to go back. She said, don't go back and get it back. Because we are told, how to manipulate situations when we're in the military, how to control situations, how to intimidate the enemy. But they don't bring it into the church. So we want to have a church of ABC where we are accepting how? Where we are belonging to one another. How? Christ and one another. Or how? Unconditionally. And say, connect to Christ and connect to one another. How? Is that doable? Is that doable? Now, what is one key to friendship? Whether you like it or not. Somebody help me. Don't say love. Don't say kindness. Before you are kind to me, I want to see you do something. Anybody walk through this door, what should be the first way we need to know the person we are friendly? Who knows? How will I know you care? How will I know you accepting me? How, the way you greet me, how do you greet me? Say smile. Say smile. The first key to friendship is to learn to smile to people. You know who taught me that? The white people. When I came to Colombia, I didn't know that if they see, hey, how are you? I thought that they love me. And me from Africa, my own brother, I said, how are you? I didn't want to go and embrace them. You are crazy. The smile doesn't pass through here. Have you noticed that they always smile to you in a good office when you get in there? What would the secretary do to you on the front door? They grin. They grin. Develop that habit. You're not too old to change. Nobody has too old to do what? If you're going to run a good ministry, the first rule for any stranger, when you say this stranger, is to do what? Hey, how are you? You don't have to mean it, but do it. That opens the door to care, to friendship, and other things. And also, when you're angry, how do you break anger? Smile. And I'm helping you this morning. And you're going to pay me for this. All of you are going to pay me for this. The only way, even with your wife, your husband, even if somebody coming to you with smile, that their face will drop. And it's a good mechanism for defense also. Smile. Go ahead, please. You're going to learn it anyway. Go ahead.
So does it mean that somebody can fake salvation?
Very easy.
Fake righteousness?
Very easy. You know who I like best? I love that guy, and I studied him so much. His name is called Judas Iscariot. He's one of the guys I love in the Bible. He taught me how not to be. You know, when I keep teaching that after the cross, everything we got to receive. We don't have to ask anything anymore. It's given to us already. All you got to do is to ask to receive. That's what it means. If you're not ready to receive, don't ask. So we just have to receive. One of the things I like about why I'm a scholar of Iscariot is it helps you not to be fake. That's another study. Well, I'm going to go back to scale one of these days. But the thing is that you can fake anything in life. You can fake anything. You can fake that you love somebody when you don't love them. These people love me. These people love me with their lips, but their heart is far away from me. Do you know the worst thing that happened to man? The heart of man is desperately wicked, evil. Who can discern it? Only the Lord will know it. When Jezebel comes to your church, Jezebel has a dagger at the back. Jezebel has a dagger. The best betrayer, the Judas factor. I'll teach it. Judas. Wait, not tonight. I don't have time. The worst thing that can happen to you is somebody you have received into your life, and you have spent your life on them, your treasure, your talent, your skill. They can stab you so bad that you wouldn't even know what hit you. And take note that nobody faking is very easy. Very easy to fake. When I teach Judas, I use 3rd John to teach it. They can be even a leader in the church, but they can pretend that they're leaders. When they have time, study 3rd John. I'm going to go back to that book again and teach you Judas. This is a church leader. He will not receive anybody. And they could be in church. They could play church. And they're unforgiving. There are many things. They are unforgiving. And it's a lot of examples in the scripture. One of the ones that struck me is this guy who was David's right-hand counselor, Ahithophel. Can you believe Ahithophel can betray David? It's tough, but he did. So I have been in church for a long time, and I was born in the cradle of the church. I have a father who was serving in the church, but the most desperate wicked people I've seen are in the church. I went to do a crusade, a clergy retreat for a bishop in Nigeria, and he asked me to run his clergy school for him. I prepared a good teaching I'm going to give the whole day. And I was opening I did this seminar like this. The first teaching I held for the first 30 minutes, that was the end of my teaching that day. All we said that day, the whole day was talking about how a canon will go to a native doctor and go to the ground of a cathedral to bury skull of goat head in the ground and all evil, so that the architect can die. The architect can die so he can take over. But it's true. We're faking Christianity. How can that person be a man of God who can go to witch doctors and do some concussion and come to fake it so that the other priest or the pastor will die? Otherwise, if you're not faking Christianity, why is there so much betrayal in the church? Why are we not real? Why are we always very critical of one another? Why are we unforgiving? What is faking, by the way? I need somebody else to speak. I said too much already.
When somebody is faking something, it means when you see somebody just smile, but in your heart is not.
Yeah.
So, as a child of God, if you are the kind of person that when you see a bad thing, you just fake yourself by laughing, make sure that that person come inside, and if you didn't even, you don't tell that person what you are doing is not good.
Yeah.
I just want to say,
Let me take my thing. Go ahead, Sam.
I'm not sure that we're saying we should be fake. Okay?
We're telling you it exists in the church.
That video is
Tell you it is in the church.
to let us know the first impression, the
Yeah.
very first contact.
The welcoming.
Yes.
We're not talking about the church members now. I said if somebody walks through the door, thank you for clearing that.
Not being encouraged to be fake.
No, we're not. I'm not saying that.
That's what I want to understand.
No. Thank you very much for Sam. People can be fake, but we're not trying to be fake. But I'm saying that the whites that I met there, that they don't love you. They smile to you, but the smile doesn't pass their throat. Don't be like them. But why did they do it? That's my point. They know that the only way to make you feel welcome, because they need their money. It's an insurance company came to buy their policy. It's a medical doctor's office came to get a doctor's help. You went to somewhere to spend your money. What would they do to you? Is to do what? To smile. Welcome you. Okay? And they're here. My students are here. I teach a difficult course that I can go compute everything in my head and put on the board. They wouldn't even have a clue what I'm doing. But I tell them jokes, all kinds of stupid jokes. And I smile throughout my lecture. It is mathematics I'm talking about. How can you be smiling and teach mathematics? Bear me out. What do I do when I teach my classes? Do I smile before you all 24/7? Do I play my jokes before you all? To make them, they're here to make them relax. Because I'm this sine theta, cotangenta, and all these things. It flows through their head. One ear goes to the other ear out. They're already paranoid. And people say before they come to my class, they are scared of math to their pants. And they're walking through my door. I said, Professor Mathematics, what am I going to do? I spent the first 2 weeks making them know me as their friend. I'm not making it up. I try to be so friendly to my students so they can relax. I never lose one student any semester because the course is difficult. They could be so terrible with numbers. I told you one semester, one man told me, I came to do math. You're teaching me what? A, B, C, D. This is not English. What is X, 2X, A, B, C squared, B, C, and D? Is this English class? I said, no, this is math class. He said, I came to do numbers. You're telling me A squared, B squared, and cotangent and cotangent. It's an English class. No, I say it's a math class. But that's the kind of people you get on semester. Because they're adults. They left school since 15 years ago. So you have to make them feel what? Say what? Comfortable. Accept them unconditionally. Believe in them that they're going to do well. Don't judge them that because they can't add 1 + 1 means they're not intelligent. Don't have that conception at all. Everyone is intelligent in their own way. Because they don't get numbers doesn't mean they're dumb. No. They're smart students. Only that this thing is logic. It comes to some. It doesn't come to some people. So you just work with them. But most all do it with what? No. Smile. Not love. If I can't know you love me until you smile to me. I'm serious. I don't care what you're telling me that you care about me. Be welcoming. Smile. I don't care how much good a preacher you are. If I don't see your face, I will eat what's in your hand. Is that true? So, we are changing. I don't want us to go back and look at what is wrong with the church. There are hypocrites everywhere. You know what makes me comfort? There are some who will fake Christianity, born again, and everything else. But the Lord says, you know why I don't judge anybody in the church? You don't know why? Let the tares and the wheat grow together. I didn't make it. I didn't teach it. Let the fake and the real. You know, because there are fake, that tells me there are also what? Real. In the church, all of us are not going to be the same kind of genuine Christians. You're going to have those who are not genuine in the church. Please don't judge them. Let the tares and the wheat do what? If anyone will judge, let it be who? God himself. He knows how to pluck them out over time. That's why I tell people, if you don't like to be under me, find another pastor, another teacher. But me, I have no problem with you. I don't have problem with anybody. Now, if you have a problem with me, that's your call. You can take a walk. And I was trying to say, why are people not coming to church often? There are empty chairs. The Lord had to rebuke me. You know when this happened? When God rebuked me? I said, we are not in the South Bronx. Why are the neighborhoods not coming? Why can't they come in here? Yesterday, we were over 300 people on the food pantry line. 300 people. She was there. The line was so long. Over 160 served properly. Others, we couldn't even contain. Why can't they come into the church? It's simple. Why can't somebody who came last week repeat the next Sunday? If they don't find you smiling to them and being friendly, they're not going to come back. All of us. That's how you grow a church, a ministry. When those who are in there are friendly, that friendship will lead to other things, to caring, to supporting, to help, to other things. First of all, let me see your face. Let me see you warm towards me. Let me see you welcoming to me. Let me see you friendly. And that means you're going to sacrifice a lot of things. You may have to give up your language, learn my culture. Because the way you behave in Africa is not the way you behave in here. You can't just say in America, I want to embrace you. That's not their culture. Or this lady who just came to church today, you can't tell her, where do you live? Down the block here. Can I come to your house this afternoon? You can't do that. That's not their culture. That could work in Africa. You don't tell a lady, I want to come and visit you in your house this Wednesday. Are you available? What time are you home? I'm coming to your house. She will start coming to this church. People they're nosy. Why does she want to come and do in my house? But in Africa, that's the first thing you do to somebody who came to you for the first time. You will say, oh, hey, oh, glad to see you. Where do you live? Down the block. Oh, I'm coming tomorrow to pray with you in your house. She welcome you. That's Africa. Are you hearing me this morning? You got to learn their culture. You got to make a sacrifice. And you don't say a black like this one there. You tell her, hey, I love you, baby. How are you? I love you. That's in Africa. Don't say it here. She will understand what you mean. I love you. I love you means I want you to go to bed with you. You don't say it. I have to learn. You don't just see somebody just through the word love. I love you. That's in Africa. You know, I love you. That's common there, not here. It means something different here. Just like I see this brother. In Africa, it's a great thing for you to see a man, you hold his hand. Nakon, let's go to. He's working in Africa. Here, you're again. You don't do it here. You can hold a man. That's over there. The only place you can hit a man at his back or anywhere is in the football field. When we, score a touchdown, we can pump each other, do something. But outside the field, can't try it. It means something else. You gotta learn the culture. It's only within the field I didn't when you're playing sports. There are many things you've got to learn. I don't want to know where she lives until she believe in me. And I'm going to invite her first to my house. She's going to come and know where I live first. I'm going to invite her for dinner first to my house. Then when I've taken her to dinner in my house and she knows where I live, then she will say, oh, Joe, when are you coming to, she will now return the favor. You don't go to her house first. You bring her to her house, what? First. She believes in you, get to know you, then you can visit her. Are you hearing me this morning? So we're going to do more of these kind of seminars to help us create a friendship ministry. Because we are intercultural people. I think I'm going to break here. Unless you have things you want to say to me. I said 3 things. Let's review. Go ahead, sir.
You're absolutely correct in the area of friendship. I came into New York City in late September.
Okay. You're welcome. That means you're a good material to work with. Because you're not being spoiled yet.
Visited a couple of churches. And one of the churches I visited in the Bronx is one of the biggest Nigerian church. One of the biggest churches in Nigeria. The biggest ministry in Nigeria. And I stepped in and I stepped out. Not a single person talked to me.
Oh my God. See what I'm saying? Repeat what you just said now. You stepped in and stepped out.
Yes.
Not a single person.
Single person walked up to me and said, "Hello, how are you? Welcome to church." And I was shocked because I'm new here. I know that in Nigeria, we welcome people, we greet people, we follow up people in church when people call in for the first time. And I was totally embarrassed. I was like,
Well, we're not like that here, so we're going to correct all that here. We're building a new wall here.
Now, what I'm trying to say is that
Yeah.
what you're saying is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I don't think anything will take me back there.
See?
Nothing will ever take me back there.
Then imagine many women have come here, and this guy here is so busy doing something else, and they left here without any welcome. Go ahead, my daughter. Go ahead. You want to say something? Yeah, you want to say something? Yeah, go ahead here. Yeah.
We went to school the other day, and we went to the store across the street, and we walked in just to look at the menu, and no one said anything. Like, we just walked in, and nobody said anything. They seen us walked in, and they just ignored us. No one said, "Hello, like, are you ready to order?" So we walked out. It was just,
Something.
yeah.
So how do we change? Pastor Sam. Oh, go ahead. Then I will go to him.
Change begins with me. Hearing these things, let me go back and implement, right?
But sometimes we're too old to change, isn't it?
No, for me, there's never any time is left to change. There are certain things we talked about this morning as my first time of knowing about those things. Right? When you say that God tell somebody, "Oh, I love you," you tell somebody you love you mean a different.
Many different things. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say woman, I love you. It means something. You're not in Africa. Don't do it.
Just never. Well, learning is continuous, it's progressive for somebody who understands. I think one way is to be very proactive in having the end in mind. Now, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? You want people to come to church and stay. Now, you know, one of the ways you can do that is to make them feel at home, make them feel welcome. So if you have that at the back of your mind, then you are proactive to take action. You take the right action to get them in and also to get them to stay. So it's actually taking action, which is where we all fail. You know, being the first to take the action. You know, there was a video that was circulating of little children,
So
two kids.
the black one and the white kid.
And just because they're children, they ran to each
Ah,
other.
no,
and
that
started playing,
video, that was
started hugging,
powerful.
And even Ellen brought them to
Yeah, to the show.
her show. Now, but we adults don't do that. We put a
Boundary.
Yes, we set a barrier because we are suspicious of someone. You know, we are unwilling to do that. So, but if we take that action to do that, then we're going to be getting results.
Go ahead, please.
First of all, the thing is, those who do it, who went back and are no more doing, are no more welcome, why do they do those? Why do they, here you have a whole lot of reasons why they may stop being welcome. Number one, they can get full of themselves. Number two, they could be distracted.
That's very important. So, no, take your time. Don't rush it. Number one, he said they can be so self-engrossed, so self-centered that all they know, like the church, keep standing. Like the church, they had something at the door, Jesus only. They forgot they put Jesus only on the door. That wind and snow be beating on that door. After a while, the whole thing broke off. What left was us only. You know, JES was freed up now. Only US was left on the door. Us only. So somebody coming to church, one woman come to church, look at the door, say, us only. So, only them. They went back. Because actually, inside the church, they know who. Us only. Only us only. All others keep out. They're full of themselves. That could be one reason why they didn't welcome you, or they couldn't sell. Or go ahead.
They can get too busy.
Too busy.
They carry the problems of the day. Everybody is too busy just caring for themselves, rushing in, rushing out, and they forget to do the little things. And those who are able to do these things, who are able to be welcoming, they're usually very deliberate about it, just as we're saying.
You got to be deliberate.
We
Intentional.
know
That's what.
where we want to go.
That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going to end.
Things that will take us there.
Okay, because I asked that question, but he answered it. The other thing is, they could be biased. Like, there are two young black ladies. They could be Hispanic. They could be whites. They also don't like blacks to come in there. Because one black kid somewhere stole something in that store. So every black person is what? It's a suspect. So that's what you see all the time. I walk into the door, the same thing. They will follow you around because you're black. Because some black man came there the other day and stole something. Therefore, every black that comes here is a suspect. It could be. And don't we do it? Because one Hispanic did something, therefore every Hispanic is. One black American say something vulgar to you as an African. I don't like you came here, took our job. Therefore, every black American is what? Or same thing black American, because one Nigerian went and did a fraudulent marriage with a black American woman who is an aunt or a sister. Therefore, every African is looking for marriage. It's our biases. We got to get over these things. I run into it every day. And unfortunate, sometimes I take actions. I can't forget that when I was BMCC, this guy will harass me every day when I come to the building. You know, the guy that the former president of the university fired. Every day this guy will harass me. So Jeff asks, you know Jeff and I went for lunch. I told Jeff, I came and complained in the department. Jeff then was the acting chair. That this guy is harassing me daily and showing me that he doesn't like blacks. And unfortunately, he's black. But my accent became the problem to him. So he will make sure that he asks me my ID every day. Even though he's an old timer, he will still ask my ID every day. And I will wait. And I said it's in my bag, he won't let me go. And I see whites passing. Everybody passing. So I complained to Jay. I said, this guy is so biased about me. I don't know what about me eating him up. Till one day, I showed him my ID. I was going up. So instead of going in the elevator, I had to go through the damn, like the front. I had complained, these Africans come here to take our job. I had to come back. Even and say, did you say I took your job? See, I'm a mad professor. I'm going to tell the president I'm going to resign so you can come and take my place and teach this class. I didn't take your job. If I'm not doing this class, some white man is doing this class. You should be happy that the black man came here and is doing this thing. That faculty, how many blacks we have? Ask them. Who are male even? So I took your job. That's why I stop him every day when I come here with that. So that makes you angry. So don't be angry, please. If you know how many days I sat myself down in the classroom, trying to get this 2 plus 2 into my head, you will be sorry for me that I ended up here. So I said this is to make it could be their bias. Could be anything else. But see, that's why we need to understand that for you to smile, for you to love, for you to care, we call it SLC. You have to be intentional. That's where we're going to end this. Whenever you're not intentional, you cannot smile. You didn't hear me. What did I just say now? That's how you change. That's why I'm asking this question. How do you change? Write it down. If you are not intentional, you cannot be a smiling person. Begin to do it to get used to it. Write it down. Know it. You got to be intentional. Number two, for you to love, you have to be what? Intentional again. Some people are so nasty. You can't love them. And some struck it. If you are a pastor, you're going to get hurt many times. People are going to lie to you, use you. Does that mean you're going to stop loving people? She is my witness. We put people upstairs here. For 1 year, food free, light free. She said I shouldn't be saying it. I say it so that I can help you. That's why I say it. I'm not bragging, please. I don't try to go back into the past. When I draw anything from the past, it's for you to learn so you can change. They will live upstairs, do everything for them. Did I tell them, you have stayed too long, move so that we can help somebody else who is in need? In fact, one time I had to get the police to get one out. I had to call the police. She lived and lived and lived and lived. And then I said, move so that somebody else can. We have people have need. I had to call the cops. In fact, twice. I had to use the police to move somebody out from upstairs. Now, when they leave, they're going to tell lies about you, why you kick them out, and that and that and that. Don't let it bother you. Just make sure that at the end of the day, whatever they're saying is not true. Just make sure. Make sure your hands are clean. Are you hearing me? But then somebody else will show up the next day with the same desperate. Does that mean because the other person lied and was mean and was evil, you close your door to a stranger? No, when this is the angel God is sending to you. Because some have unknowingly entertained a stranger, not knowing it's an angel. So I want to help you. Love is intentional. Even in your marriage. I am learning to be intentional in loving my wife. And I'm serious. Because women, let's no. Another day, not tonight. Not today. Another day. Another day. You think he sees the love of a woman? Ask me. Let's continue. Where's my notes? I don't want to go to that. So, I say SLC. Don't forget that. Intentional to smile. Intentional to love. Intentional to do what? Care. That's the worst one. They think love is care. When they hit a pocketbook, you know what caring is all about. Or drag your time. Or it calls for a sacrifice. So that I will say more. We're going to do this, repeat this seminar 2 or 3 times more. Because I want next year to have a daycare center here in this church. I want to have an after-school program here in this ministry. I'm telling her to, thank God she's going to retire from this work, whether she like it or not, this December. So she can help us stay here, this thing, because we're not getting younger. And if I depend on church, then I will be relevant. I will not change my generation. I will not make impact in this community. I don't come to America just to get a degree, get the money, get titles and Reverend Doctor, Reverend Bishop, this and that. That doesn't mean anything to me. I've told you many times that the title I love is not this professor that called me or all these titles. Call me Brother Joe. I love it. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. Let's become brethren. Let's work as one. Let's learn to smile, learn to love, learn to care. Caring is, I don't know this guy. I'm coming on my own way. But this guy must have come from Jerusalem going to Jericho. I see him by on the road. I see the Christian walk by, I see pastors walk by, you all know what they're called. But I came, even though they look at me as a Samaritan, as I'm not a pastor, I don't wear the title, I don't wear the collar on my neck, I don't wear anything else. But I have to stop. Pick up this desperate guy, I don't know who he is. That's what we're called to do, this community. I'm going to pick up this guy. I'm going to take him to the hospital or to a rehab center. Take him to somewhere where he needs help. And I'm going to make sure he's secured there. Then I'm going to tell the person who is in charge. This is not my ministry. I'm just passing by. I'm going to lectures. When I finish, on my way back, I'm going to drive through you. Whatever extra you spend, I will do what? I'll pay. Any questions? we have 15 more minutes to end the work today. We're gonna continue because we're trying to build. That's my point I'm going. We're trying to build a different something here in the South Bronx. Is it doable? Is it doable? Can we create a good after-school program to take care of these people who roaming the streets? Can we do that? That's not here in this community. Just like when there was no food pantry here, we built one food pantry. It succeeded in being on fire. I want to see where people come and collect food without paying, no demands. We don't care your religion, your background, black, green, yellow, what church you go. We don't care. Just come. Once there's food, you take it and go home. The same thing we did last summer. Brought the kids together summers ago for the community. We give them breakfast, we give them lunch, and they go home. We do tutoring, math, reading, writing, and computers. We got some computers here, but I didn't get hands, so we gave up. we need hands. And the after school program, same thing. The daycare, we started daycare here. There are not enough hands. It takes commitment, intentional again, to do all that. We need to, you may be good in writing for grants, but if you don't have the hands that will commit themselves, initially, to build anything means that there will be sacrifices. You may not get paid as the other daycare center to start with. May not be, but when students start coming, money start coming, then we shall compensate you equally like others. But everybody wants to eat a ready-made dish. Nobody's trying to cook it. That's the problem I have with black people. Blacks. We don't want to cook. We just want to eat. But who's going to cook it for you? Who's going to create the daycare center, the after-school program, the outreach ministry to report, feed them homeless people, homeless ministry shelter, the prison ministry. I was with the DA of the South, but the Bronx DA, that woman, good woman, good friend. She said, what are your church doing to help us? I said, listen, people go to prison, they keep going in and out. Can we begin a program to help them counseling in your church and then do skill training? I said, I don't have anybody. I don't have anyone that can trust it into their hands.
In Lagos, we go to the maximum security prisons. We go to
Well, we need people. I can't do everything.
every Sunday morning.
So we're going to get there. So what I'm trying to say, we don't have, look at how many of us are here now. If we all can start something, then others will come and join us. It's the people, the chairs are empty. Where do we start? That's what I'm thinking. We're going to have that meeting on where to start before the year is out. So by January, February, we can start something immediately. All right. It's raining today. We're going to, because I want by January for us to start after school program here, a daycare center here. Good things happen in the community. It's going to be anchored around somebody. You see, the news, we have somebody called anchor. You got to anchor it around somebody. And every night he's there reading that same news. It's called an anchor. Who is the anchor for the daycare center? Who is going to be an anchor? I told my students to come and hear something from me today, and they showed up really. So I'm so proud of you. So, but we're all going to put our heads together, look for the fund, look for everything to start somewhere. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. This is a very good seminar.
Yes, okay, I have the microphone here.
This is a very good seminar, and like Mommy said, we need to repeat it. We don't have to stop now, so far, because people need to know what to do. There are people who are just hovering on ignorance. You may think they know. You see their size, their height, you think that person knows what to do. He doesn't know, or she doesn't know. So if you don't teach them, they won't know what to do. I cited this example sometime when you made mention of this some months ago. What happened in my church? I was transferred to Rivers State in Nigeria to a local church. I went to the church is closer to a university in Choba, Rivers State. So the church is in the village. Now Choba is in the town.
The university is in Choba. I had to go to the VC. I went to the VC of the university. Can I please open a chapel in your university? He looked at me. Who are you? I said, Pastor Eze. I'm newly transferred to Alo, but I want to open a chapel in the university. He said, when do you want to start? I said, now. He said, you are free. I went to the church. I announced to them, you know what? We'll be having 6 o'clock service every day, every Sunday at the university. Then we close at 8:30. Then second service will be in my church. We were there. The service started. Before you know it, students they began to turn in. You know, everywhere was full. They visit. Sometimes you come to visit us. One day in the church, a lady walked in. She was just, almost naked, wearing one spaghetti hand, something that has a pocket right here. And that pocket was only but a packet of cigarette. With underwears, the real striped underwears, into the church. And the deacons stopped her from coming. I was preaching. I just gave a signal. She came in. There was a young man in the car. I don't know that was the husband. The guy is ashamed to come into the church with her. So I sent somebody. When I saw the car, I said, somebody is in that car that lady came out from. Go and ask the man to come into the church. They went and got the man. The young man, well-dressed, clean, smelling good. Before 15 minutes, the whole church turned into hellfire, smoke everywhere. She started smoking in the church. Everywhere. Everywhere. People were like, church that is almost 1,000 to 2,000 members. People ran away from the church. Said, everybody come in. They came in. I kept preaching. I didn't talk about that. The next Sunday, she repeated the same thing. The next Sunday, she came 3 good times. I didn't talk about it. The first Sunday, she came to the church dressed like a banker. The fourth Sunday. So she has a testimony. In these 3 Sundays that she has been coming, I've been embracing. After service, I greet her. How are you doing? She's a white lady. The young man is a black man. So, how are you doing? I'm good. What's going on? When did you come to Nigeria? I'm from this place. So we discuss. You are the pastor. I say, yeah. Every Sunday, I will embrace her, hold her. She'll be smoking while I'm going with her. The husband will be like, what happened? The 4th Sunday she came, dressed very, very great, like a banker. She said, can I have a test? Can she give a testimony? I said, yeah. We gave her the microphone after preaching. She said that she's been into this church for 3 times now. Everybody say yes. And this is the 4th time. She said that before she came that first day, that they've been to 5 churches, that she was asked out. That the pastor did not allow her to come in. But that she has seen a place where she'll be worshiping. As she was talking, she began crying. She began to cry. She said, now, I never preach about the cigarette she was having, but that she's promising herself, God, and everybody here now, that she's not smoking again in her life. That's number 1. Because that she is accepted. We made her to know that she belonged to the kingdom business. That God is interested in her. Now, I never talked about her life.
Our time is out.
So, at the end, she asked the church, what is our project? What do we want to do? Is there any project that the church is holding? We said yes. You know this Nigerian currency. She wrote check and gave to the church. And that was a very good, until I left River State to another place, that woman was still worshiping in our church. So you can make people accepted. You can accept them, make them belong. This brother that is asking this question now, we just met. That's why he's here today. We just met somewhere a few days ago. And I told him about our church. Today he's here because he was received, he was accepted. So if we can learn to do this, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. We're going to continue this seminar some other time. But go home and think what you're going to contribute. Because I may repeat this seminar before the month is out. November again in November and December. So that by January we're going to be set. Amen? And everything intentional. Say intentional. Say intentional. Stand on your feet. Thank you. That's the Chimerum. Lord, prepare me